guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to build a mood board in Illustrator. So first up, I open up Illustrator. I use the Creative Cloud version and I go to File, New, and I open up a new document. You can decide how you set up your document. Because I usually share my mood boards on Instagram, I like to set it up for the Instagram preferences. So 1080 pixels wide and 1080 pixels high. And also because I don't plan to print these mood boards, I leave it at RGB color mode and 72 dpi. But of course, if you plan to print your mood boards, for example, if you want to put it up on your wall, you can change this to CMYK and the resolution to 300 dpi. That's the best for if you want to print your design. So I don't need multiple artboards, I only need one, and I press create. So I have my artboard, and the first thing that I like to do is to set up guidelines. This is also something that you can do based on your own preference, but these are very useful. So what I do, I press the right mouse button and I go down and ask to show rulers. This way I will have the rulers here. Then I choose the rectangle tool, and I just click wherever I want on the artboard, and I make a square that's 880 pixel wide and 880 pixel high. So now I want this, I have this rectangle, and I want it to be exactly in the middle of the artboard. So I go to Align. The Align panel can be also found here in Windows Align if you don't have opened it. And sometimes it's has like hidden options, so I go in this little hamburger menu and I ask it to show the options. And in the Align to section, I check Align to Artboard. This way, when I have the rectangle, the square selected, and I press on the horizontal align and the vertical align, it will put it right in the middle. So what I want to do is to place everything on my mood board inside this rectangle, so I will have a nice white space around it. I want to know where are the center lines, so I just click and drag from the ruler. So I click on the ruler and drag until I get to the center point. It will write center here. So I have my center guidelines. Then I also want to create a guideline from this rectangle. I go to View, Guides, Make Guide. So my square will turn into a guide, which means that I know where I have to have my borders. I make another square. This time I will make it 440 by 440, and I also center it. Now I will put my guidelines to the edge of this square, and I don't need that square anymore. This means that I made equal quarters inside my area where I will design. Why is this important? Because now when I make my mood board template, I will be able to set it up nicely. So for example, I will put one image here, and then I just turn it into gray, and then I can put another image placement here, etc. So, but first, before I lay out where I want to put each of my images, I like to insert all the images I want to include on my mood board from my files. So I have all these images, and I just drag and drop it next to my artboard. You see there's a lot, so I will just zoom out and place them. I might not use all of them, but I just want to see their layout to know if I need more of the horizontal or vertical spaces for my images. Okay, so I definitely want to include on my mood board this illustration, because for the project that I'm making this mood board for, I will have to make lots of florals, and this style of illustration really fits the mood that I want to create. So I decided to make a big placement for this. This is a very important image on my mood board. So I made a square, and then I place the image behind it. If it's not behind, you can choose the image, right click and say arrange, send to back. Now I need to select both the square and the image. For this, I just select them, and then right click, make a clipping mask. This way the image will be only visible where the square was visible. If you want to get rid of the guidelines and you want to see your progress without the guidelines, you can just press Command or Control on Windows and the semicolon. And as I see, I have to make the image a little bit bigger. So whenever you want to change the image inside, you just double click on it, and as you can see, you went inside the clip group, and that way you can scale it up or move it around as you wish. I like it this way. Next up, I want to place this logo right next to my floral image. So I will make my square placement here. You can always check if your sizes are right, so it's 220 by 220, which is correct in my case. And I just bring it to the right position and I send it back. So the square is there, it wasn't filled, but the square is there. So I select both and make clipping mask. So this is how I build up the parts of my mood board. It's really easy, you just create all the squares or rectangles, even you can make circles. You place the image behind it and then you make clipping mask. So for the next few steps I just fast forward it, and then I will show you how I make frames and borders around my images so they have a more airy look, a little bit more lightweight. So this is how my mood board looks right now. I still don't have my color palette on, and as you can see, all the images are touching. So instead of making these rectangles smaller and really have a tough time with the positioning, what I like to do is to create a new layer and add frames and borders around them. So on this new layer, I go to the pen tool or just press P, and I choose the border to be white, and the width, you can set that in the stroke panel, the width to be like 10 points. I turn back my guides with common semicolon and just drawing these borders. So whenever you press the Shift button while you're drawing these, they will be exactly vertical or horizontal or diagonal. That makes it easier. So one is done, and then I make one here. I also like to go around the whole area, so I start that here. Like this. And last but not least, I like to add the color palette and some text. So you can choose many type of shapes to create your color palette. I like to do it mostly with circles. So you can choose the ellipse tool or just press L and draw one shape here. You can go up and size it, so I will turn it into 60 pixel size and just grab a color from somewhere. And for this brand, I will make a color palette of 5 colors. So I will just copy it. You can copy it by selecting it, pressing Option or Alt, and dragging it somewhere, so you can drag it anywhere. But if you also press the Shift, it will do it vertically, horizontally, or diagonally. So I copied one, and then I pressed Command D to do it 3 more times. I have my color palette and I just want to set it at the right position. You can also decide on the position here, so I will put it at 210. And then you can choose the colors. You just choose one of the circles, and I want to have a darker shade, for example this dark gray. A more vivid, stronger primary color. And then some pink. I also need something very light and neutral for the background. I like to take the colors from the photos because it reflects the mood really well. But you can of course make your color palette beforehand and just import the colors here. This is my process of doing it, but you can of course go in a very different way. So when you're done with the colors, you can also add some text. Just press T and click somewhere where you want to add the text. I will make it bigger, 24. I also like to open up the character panel. I want it to be all uppercase and a bit more distance between the characters. And I just write mood board. You can write your brand or your product that you create your mood board for. I also like to add some adjectives or expressions at the bottom. I just center the text. I will write it in lowercase and a little bit smaller font size. So, for example, this brand, I want it to be to feel like spring, to be soft, natural, to be floral, cozy, sophisticated, and happy. Some of these are not so easy to express with photos, or you can't really find the right photo for sophisticated, for example. Then it's a good idea to add some of these words at the bottom of your mood board. So even if you don't find the right image, you still get a reminding note at the bottom that you have to create your brand along these qualities. Don't forget that this post also comes with a set of free mood board templates, both in Photoshop and Illustrator format. So if you use those, you will save time because you don't have to set up your own photo placement and structure. And these are the templates that you will get, and you pick one of them, you open up the Illustrator file, and the only thing you have to do is to double click on the image that you want to change and insert your image inside. So, for example, if I want to insert a different image, like this one, I just go and drop it here. Well, it didn't insert it, so I just cut it, Ctrl X, and I double click on the image and put it inside. I get rid of my old image and I position the new one in the way I want. So you have to get into the clip group by double clicking and insert in your image. And this is how you can change it. You don't have to do anything else, just rewrite and the title and the adjectives or corporate values that you want to include here. And of course you can change the colors very easily. You just click the color and go here and write in your values, or you pick the color picker by pressing I, and then you just come here and pick any color from the image. So I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching.